we were in the dining room, and we'd been in there all day, and it was a scene with Marilyn Lightstone, and she was Miss Stacy over for dinner, and she discovers, I scream out that don't eat the sauces, there was a mouse in it, and I didn't have the nerve to say anything before. Anyway, the studio was very hot, and you just get very condensed, and it was small, so that towards the end of a day we'd all be like this, and it was actually Marilyn's close-up, and Colleen had this very long speech, and she, like all of us do, she'd muddle it up every now and then, but she'd put in her own words for things like bumpers and hoozy-jiggies and whatchamacallits. And I remembered I just sat there and I had to laugh. I couldn't stop laughing. And she had a line, something about your feather-brained ways and you're more interested in the sound of your own tongue. And she couldn't remember it, so she'd say things like your absent-minded opinions and the noise of your own mouth. And then I'd be going, and Marilyn would start to laugh, and then she finally had to get the piece of paper in front of her. So she picked it up, except for she couldn't find it on the table, so it's Marilyn's close-up, and she pulls up the piece of paper, but she hasn't got her glasses on at this point, and she's going, and the feather brain, and then we all just broke out laughing, and I mean, we were howling and laughing, because it was just, it's so frustrating when you can't, you try to get out a speech, and it's important to say it correctly, and you can't do it. Your brain refuses at this point to say it right. So she came up with some bumper-minded whoozy-watsies, and it was very funny. But Colleen and I would do that a lot. I'd find when we were on the set, I'd share little looks with her, and we'd sort of have laughs, and we'd be going to do something, and Kevin would say, tremble with excitement, and Colleen and I would just find that kind of amusing, and we'd start laughing, and I think one instance I remember was when I was in the wagon, and it was a drive-off shot, and it was starting, and just literally before they said action, Colleen and I were roaring with laughter. I can't even remember what it was about anymore, but it was just as soon as they said action, we had to go sort of do the shot, because it was the last shot of the day, and we wouldn't get to do it over again. But that was the neat thing about her. We'd find a lot of things humorous and have a good laugh about it, and that always helps too, because it does relieve a lot of pressure when you can laugh. And I find that I do that quite a bit sometimes, as opposed to getting upset about the pressure or feeling the tension. I just prefer to find something funny and laugh about it all, instead of getting really upset about it.